Story on it. Weather forecast. For today, showers and maybe a thunderstorm as we get into early afternoon. Temperatures fall into the upper 60s. South-southwest winds gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Slight chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight with mostly cloudy skies, lows around 48. West-northwest winds 10 to 15. Mostly cloudy for Thursday with highs near 57. North-northeast winds around 25 miles per hour. And mostly cloudy on the overnight, lows in the mid-40s. Jonesboro's community radio station. We are KLAK 102.5 FM.
Is in London on the White House US Joe Biden traveled to Northern Ireland on the anniversary Friday. India has abstained from voting as the husband of Scotland's former first part of an Asian finance.
News for this hour is made possible by St. Bernard's Healthcare. St. Bernard's is a nonprofit Catholic healthcare system that serves a 23-county region in northeast Arkansas and southeast Missouri. St. Bernard's.info.
Good friend of mine with the graduation, he said for a long time. He told his wife, this is a very long time. Kelly said, Rick looked at him and said, why don't you sit in the beer stand in a conversation?
Elliott's future depends on listener support in all shapes and sizes. One of the safe long-term impact by donating land, a building, or house no longer. Learn more about the donating other states to secure Elliott's future.
Excuse me. KLEKLT Building, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. My tongue tells me life is I pray all day long. Psalm 35th chapter, 38th verse. It's now time for all gospel ritual. Praising the Lord without best inspirational and gospel music. Giving you a trial and tribulation. Thank God for all He's done for you. Your life, your music. KLEK 102.5 FM.
I stand back in about 30 seconds.
It's 9:04.
KLEK LT Zone. Voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy. It's now time for community conversations. Program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. Views expressed in this program are no longer represented. Necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, Voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy, or our underwriters or sponsors.
KLK 102.5 FM. Good morning to you on your Wednesday. It's April 5th, 2023. This is Community Conversations. Kendall Warner is in the studio with you and joined, as always, on the first Wednesday of each month. We have Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott. We just had him on for our Wednesday morning Bible study. Had a very dynamic Bible study. And now we are here for Community Conversations. And a lot is going on. So we're not going to waste any time. So, Chief, what's going on? Start us off with the latest updates.
Well, first I'll say good morning to everybody that's listening. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on in the world of JPD. Our Citizen Police Academy program kicked off last Thursday night, so it's a 13-week session for this will be our spring session. We had a great turnout of about 32 students this go around, so big class. Seems like a great bunch. Glad to have them. We do have another testing date coming up on May 12th. So for those of you that are interested in becoming employed as a police officer with JPD, I encourage you to get your application in and come out and take the test on May 12th. You can go to our website, jonesboropolice.com, to look at the qualifications to become a police officer.
Okay. And how is the applicant pool looking so far? I mean, I know one of the things that you have always tried to focus on during your tenure as chief is having a diverse pool of course, qualified applicants, but applicants that represent all facets of the community. How is that coming along?
It's Good. Again, I attribute a lot of that to this radio station, help getting the message out across the community to all parts of the community, to help us getting more diversity. And every testing segment now, I feel we have a pretty diverse group that's coming out to test. So our efforts over the past years have paid off. And so I'm pleased to see that. But again, if you want to see change in community, come and be part of that change and join our team.
So how many openings do you currently have?
Right now, we have 13 openings. We recently had some retirements, and so that's kind of put us down a few numbers. And then we've had some get out of the profession, and then some move to some other agencies. So, but right now, we currently have 13 openings. Our authorized strength is 175 sworn. So we are the third largest municipal police department in the state as far as number of sworn officers. So we're a big agency. We have different divisions that you can branch out into once you get into the organization. So there's a lot going on. If you have any questions, you can contact our recruiting and outreach coordinator, Sergeant Shay Racy.
And of course, Officer Racy is involved with so many things. And we're going to be talking more about him and some of those community events in just a moment. But one of the things I did want to bring up next, Chief, is something that you were involved with. I saw a picture of you with our current Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders for the signing of the Vincent Parks Act, which is something that you were very instrumental in spearheading to protect future officers, from what happened to Officer Parks doing when he was training. So let's kind of talk a little bit about that. Of course, the comments said that you were very pleased with how they turned out with the law, but kind of explain for those that don't know about that situation and what the law will do and how it came about.
Well, unfortunately, the law came about because we'd sent officers down to Central Arkansas Academy, and when they arrived, they were facing about 106-degree heat index. And the instructors began a physical training with them pretty much as soon as they got out of the car. So you got to bear in mind that, you're riding in the car 2 hours in air conditioning, and you get out and you're starting doing some sprints and runs and some physical activity. One, you didn't get a chance to kind of acclimate to current outside temp, and then two, they were in the clothes they were wearing when they drove down. You didn't get a chance to change it to kind of PT clothes. That was just in just a few minutes after all this started, probably less than 30 minutes after Officer Parks started down there, he was in medical distress, and end up passing away, within an hour after he had arrived, and which is unfortunate. So we felt that, there should be some things in place to prevent something like this. The military has it. The military has days when the heat index is this high. They call them black flag days, that they won't get out and train in excessive heat. They'll wait, do it in the morning hours, the evening hours. Our athletics, college and high school athletics, they do the same thing. They have, when your heat index is that high at the peak of the day, you're not getting out and doing this physical activity. And those rules came in place over the years in those organizations and schools because it took an unfortunate incident of somebody passing away, and where somebody had to step up and put those rules in place. So it's unfortunate for the law enforcement academies that they didn't take notice of this, whatever everybody else was doing, and what I call use common sense and put these rules in place. And then the next thing you know, we have an officer pass away from it, which was unfortunate. So course, on that day, I was highly upset over the incident and everything that had taken place. The state police launched a full investigation on that, and they didn't determine anything was criminal out of the deal, but there was some needed to be changed. Since then, there's a new director of the Commission on Law Enforcement Standards and Training, who is the commission that oversees all law enforcement in the state, including the academies. So the new director has already got training curriculum in place, but more important, Denny's law was brought into place and signed by the governor. And basically, this is just a law stating that these training facilities, the instructors will undergo training on recognizing people with physical distress and how to deal with it. And so common sense things kind of put in place by mandated by law.
All right, sticking with Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott. And of course, if you have a question or a comment, you can leave them on our Facebook Live. And we have a comment from Shamal Carter, who says, Chief Elliott is amazing and a great leader. We definitely support his efforts. And of course, with that, I kind of want to transition into our next topic is the Social Justice Day that is coming up. JPD and yourself are partnering with the Future for Felons. We had Evangelist Lube, the director of that organization, on last week. So let's kind of talk about that event from your perspective.
Well, sure. There's my perspective on that. There's kind of two parts to that. One, I know our current justice system, the way things are set up, may not be the most efficient and effective. So I would always entertain other ways to deal with people that have been in trouble in life. And this county's been real good about that over the years. We've had our drug courts, our veterans court, our DWI courts, special courts, and then people complete these programs. They can get this charge maybe taken off their record. So, society faces a lot of problems, and we'll never arrest our way out of all these problems. We have to find other ways to deal with these problems that we face day in and day out. I mean, on our end, arrest is, how the process starts out. But the goal is to get the person rehabilitated and get them out of the criminal activity and criminal lifestyle that they're currently in, and have them become a more productive citizen. You got some that wish to do that, and you have some that wish not to do that. So the second part of the justice reform was a new bill that was signed by Governor Sanders the other day on justice reform. And for those individuals that have habitual records, and if you wish to continue this lifestyle, the new sentencing guidelines are you're going to receive more time. So if you're sentenced to 30 years, you're going to be facing pretty much most of your 30 years. Right now, 30 years, you're not, when it grids out, you're not serving just a fraction of that time. So if you're a violent, habitual criminal, then you're going to be facing more of a day-for-day time. Then, of course, my approach years ago, I prosecute habituals on a federal level as much as possible. I feel if individuals had several chances in life to get themselves straightened, and they're getting the third, fourth, fifth plus felonies, and they still haven't then my solution is you need to remove you from society and until something does happen. So I'm all about working with people and working with organizations, like Future for Felons. I understand that, in that case, there's individuals that have been charged with felonies that come out and they want to be productive. And sometimes it's hard to get a job because they have a felony record. And I've actually helped individuals with those records, to get employment and speak up for some of them because I believe in that individual and what they've done, and I can see the results. So programs like that and what that program is doing, I think it's great. A lot of times we may disagree, but a lot of times we agree. But like I said, we can't just jail all of our problems. The goal is to change the behavior and make this person, hopefully this person be a better person in the community, get them away from that lifestyle.
And I think the important thing is to change the behaviors, you have to give the opportunity to
Correct.
change behavior. You have to, have things in place to where they can. I mean, a person gets out and they're locked away from everything to where they feel like they have no choice, where they really given the opportunity to change. So you got to have that opportunity. And then if the person does not take advantage of the opportunity, then of course, obviously other measures, would then have to be put in place. And of course, that event is going to be April 15th. Is April 15th? I don't have the flyer in front of me. 14th.
Be this coming Friday.
Okay, so it's going to, and of course, it's going to be at the campus of Arkansas State University, and I believe it's starting at 1:00 p.m. And of course, Chief Elliott's going to be speaking. Shamal Carter, who is actually on our Facebook Live, is going to be joining as well. They're going to be free jets rides all day. They're going to be other information as well. So you definitely want to make sure that you have your face up in the place. And of course, still talking about community, we've got another one. We've got the Mayor's Youth Advancement Council event, and that is going to be taking place this weekend. It's ironic. Our next guest is going to be joining us at the bottom of the hour, just arrived in the studio to talk about that. But JPD will be involved as well. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Hey, one quick note. The Justice Reform meeting is the 14th, Friday the 14th, not this Friday, out at ASU. So just
okay, yeah.
Make sure
Shamal just dropped that in the comments.
Yes. So yes, Shamal and I will be participating on the board. So looking forward to seeing everybody at that event. So as we move forward, we're talking about the Mayor's Youth Advancement Council coming up this Saturday. And I know your next guest is Miss Shelley Anderson with the Mayor's Office.
If she just walked in the studio, we won't show her on camera just yet. But.
Okay. But I know you, of course, will always be there. On behalf of KLEK,
yes, we're doing the music
tunes for the music for the event. I plan on being out there myself. Sounds like a great project. So hopefully people will come out and participate. Looks like the weather's going to be good. Today's a bad day for the weather, obviously, but looks like after this moves out, the rest of the week's going to be a pretty weekend. So, just invite everybody to come out and join the spring beautiful day with us on this Saturday at the Northside Ballpark.
Okay, and of course, since that event will be focused on the youth, what particular things will JPD be doing just to kind of get information out about what the department does, and also to fulfill, obviously, something that's most important, you bridging the gap, having those conversations with those youth who may have questions or they may have anxiety about dealing with police. How will you and JPD use that opportunity to better connect with the youth that show up at that event?
Well, one, it's just the mere fact of being present and just having conversation with people as they come up and just engage in conversation. That's the number one way to, to start bridging gap is just to have that open dialogue and that interaction. So that's why we'll have officers present out there. And, if a child or young person is apprehensive about being around police officers, and go up and have those conversations, and maybe they'll have, walk away with a better feeling.
Absolutely. All right, Chief, let's get ready to wind down. We'll get ready to bring Ms. Anderson on in our next segment. Anything else that you want to talk about? Anything else going on with JPD that the citizens, the viewers and watchers and listeners need to be aware of?
We do have Touch a Truck coming up on April 15th out of
which Kelly can be a part of that as well.
Absolutely. And just remind everybody today that we are currently under a tornado watch today. So please stay tuned to the weather and keep informed on the situation today. We do have a storm line that's about the middle of the state right now approaching us. So in the event of bad weather, please tune into one of your local media outlets and be prepared to take shelter if necessary. We made some posts on our website on how to shelter and that kind of information. So be informed and be prepared.
All right. And of course, we're going to pray that The weather's not bad and it just passes through, and everybody's good. We're definitely praying for those that were affected by the most recent round of storms in Little Rock, wind, and all over the state of Arkansas. So definitely keep those people in your thoughts and prayers. Of course, there are resources and ways in which you can help those people. They're just out there on social media. Just make sure that you get it from a reputable and legitimate source. Watch out for them scammers out there. But again, we keep those people in our thoughts and prayers. But that's going to do it for this edition of Community Conversations. As always, we thank you, Chief, for joining us. And of course, join us in a few minutes. We'll have Shelly Anderson of the City of Jonesboro. We're going to talk more in depth about the Mayor's Youth Advancement Council event. So we'll be back in a few minutes. You guys have a great and blessed day. This is Kate, LEK, on 2.5 FM. All right, take care, Chief.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.